And obviously maybe people don't know this, but we reuse our bottles, and we collect them, we clean them, we process, we sterilize, we refill. So there's absolutely no waste. So we've made a rather big impact and difference, we feel, already and that's why we chose glass as the main sustainable product.
Our company does not use any type of plastic. We do not produce any type of plastic product. We are just glass product because our motive is to save the environment.
Welcome to Mijor Podcast. It's Thủy, your host for today's episode, and it's my pleasure to welcome two very special guests joining me today. Welcome Peter, co-founder and chairman of Origin, and welcome Phillip, co-founder and director of operation of Origin. Welcome to my show today.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Before we dive into the fantastic journey of Origin, could you share us a little bit about yourself to our audience?
Well, yeah, my name's Phillip. I'm originally from Cape Town, South Africa. I've been working in the hospitality industry for about 20 years. I've been in Vietnam for about 5 years, also working in hospitality, except for the last year and a half, 2 years, of course, until we started this beautiful company of ours.
Myself, I'm Peter. My name in Spanish is Pere, but I was working before in Spain as in construction field, and then 14 years ago I decided to leave Spain, backpacking to find my way in the world, and then I ended up working for hospitality in Thailand and then in the Maldives, and then I was lucky to come to Vietnam, and I have been in Vietnam for 6 years. 2 years in Da Nang and then 4 years in Phú Quốc, and I was working for hospitality as well, and at some point I decided to make a change.
So both of you have been working in hospitality industry for many years and in different countries as well. So I'm just curious how you met each other.
So yeah, we actually, without knowing it, we were working in 2 properties right next door to each other. We knew who each other were, but we didn't really know each other well. And funny enough, one of our senior directors of both companies said we need to work together on a small little project. And we got to know each other better. While we were working on the small little project, I found out Peter had a boat. And who doesn't like boats? And I'm a very keen fisherman myself. Peter said he needed some help on his boat.
Yeah.
I was very quick to come and help him and see if I can help him fix it, and obviously try and be on the boat and go out together. And we started connecting from there, and we love the ocean and the environment, and that's how we started to speak more about different things besides just our normal day-to-day jobs.
It's when you can actually connect with someone when you share a passion. And when I moved to Phú Quốc, I knew very well I didn't want to go to live in a hotel or in a staff accommodation or something like that. Then I decided to rent a small house near here, the Ham Ninh. Now we are at Rory's Bar, near here, which was lucky enough to have a little bit of beach. And then I had a boat, no? But I am rather an introverted guy, and I like to be away from cities and all that. So by the fact that we share the passion of the boat is when we spend time together and we actually start talking about life and job and work and what we want to do in the future. So that's when all started.
And how did you start Origin? Was there any moment that led you to it?
So as I mentioned, I was staying on this beach. I knew very clearly that I wanted to change the industry of working for a big corporation of hotels, and just because there is such a big structure you need to work under too. And I decided to I'd like to do something for myself, start a business. I didn't know which one. And in order to be able to have more time for family and to travel, to spend time with my loved ones whenever I want. It's not that you have to follow instructions of someone else. And walking on the beach one day, thinking what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what? No? Then I saw the beach that was filled up with plastic containers, and I thought that was more than a reason for me to actually find a way on how I can help on this problem. it's obvious that Phú Quốc has a waste problem, garbage problem, and it appears in many natural beaches that they are absolutely pristine and beautiful, but the plastic pollution is truly contaminating the island, as well as other parts in Vietnam. So yeah, that was a great excuse to start working on what we're going to do, but that's the topic, help the environment.
We all know that COVID was around 2 years ago. In fact, Peter was still working. The company I was working for had closed during COVID. So this was also a time when I was thinking, well, what is the future for me? Is hospitality an industry that's going to be going for a very long time? It's uncertain times. And being very environmentally driven and in the past growing up, being in the outdoors all the time, it's always nice to know you can make a difference somehow. And when Peter brought this concept up to me, and having worked here in Phú Quốc in the hospitality sector, it was just almost like a no-brainer. This is a real way we can actually make a difference and kind of change things, because there's just no real infrastructure here for waste management.
So also a way to cooperate with people is I think is to pick people that you connect by heart first, and a topic that it comes from the heart. I love this guy like my brother, and then pick a topic that you want to develop together. No, but always start from the heart, and then we use the brain to see how we can make that possible. No, we can make it work. So yeah.
What inspired you to focus on the sustainability within the hospitality industry, and particularly with regards to the water consumption?
Go ahead.
So, Phú Quốc is a very small island, and there has been huge developments happening in such a small environment, like big hotels and big projects. Then the main pollution generator, I'll say, is the hospitality. Then if we want to make a difference, we want to target and we make a help and create a big impact, we actually need to go in and source the main polluters of the island, not because they want, but because there is no structure. When we thought about the water business in glass bottles, which is a full sustainable cycle, we can actually do it within the island. It doesn't need to come from outside. So it seemed to be a great option, and to upgrade the product, the water product that the hotels must have in the hotel rooms for their customers. Back then, all the hotels used to have plastic bottles in the guest rooms, and the complimentary water in the guest rooms, it comes from it's free, it's complimentary, so the customers will eventually always take it. So that's a big amount of plastic bottles that we could prevent to be used at all. So I study other means of how we could recycle waste, and I study many things, and I talk with many things, and I travel around and try to gather ideas how we could recycle the plastic generated. But then we believe that was better to just don't use the plastic at all. The single time use plastic. If we can create this system and we can supply to all these hotels, look, that's a big number of plastic bottles that they are not used in Phú Quốc.
Yeah, I'd like to say, we obviously noticed that tourism was the main focus regarding the development and infrastructure for Phú Quốc itself. So therefore, they were kind of the biggest generator of waste. And we, working in the hospitality industry ourselves, we realized, I mean, I could see how many bottles we were using daily in where I was working at the time, and we were just discarding them. There's nothing we could do with them. So we thought, how many hotel rooms are there in Phú Quốc? And I can't give you an exact number, but there's a lot. And if we can be in every single hotel room, how much, just in one day, how much of a difference we could make by just doing glass instead of plastic. And obviously, maybe people don't know this, but we reuse our bottles, and we collect them, we clean them, we process, we sterilize, we refill. So there's absolutely no waste. So we've made a rather big impact and difference, we feel, already with, and that's why we chose glass as the main sustainable product to try and make a difference.
That is the main point of choosing glass eventually, because yes, there are some other people alternatives of water supply, which is in plastic containers. No, our company does not use any type of plastic. We do not produce any type of plastic product. We are just glass product because our motive is to save the environment. However, there are other people that other companies will say that they believe that they can keep on producing plastic products in a beautiful island like this when there is no proper structure to recycle them, and you can see very fairly if you walk on the beach any other given day. So that's why we remain strong on our goals to just stay sustainable and keep working with the glass bottles and be full cycle and do as much impact we can and convince people, beautiful people like you, for coming and talking with us that our message is pure. Again, comes from the heart. It doesn't come from becoming millionaires or something like that. Not at all. What we wanted is to change a job that we were doing for a salary and try to make a company that we can earn some salary. That's all. You know what I mean? And keep growing and share among many people that we are same-hearted, and we feel the same passion, and we can help each other.
I thought you were the introvert guy.
Yeah.
Let it flow. It's all good. Let it flow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And I have a question for Phillip, as you are now a director of operation of Origin. As I know, Origin is committed to an affordable alternative to using plastic bottle, and also the first fully closed cycle glass water bottling company in Phú Quốc, Vietnam. Could you explain the closed cycle system and how it works at Origin?
Yeah, so basically closed cycle, we refer to a product or a material that has a closed life cycle, meaning that this material is returned and then either alternated into a different product that can be used, or we can use the same product. In Origin's case, like I mentioned before, we actually go pick up our empty bottles, we take them back to our facility, we process them, we sterilize our bottles, and we refill our bottles. So there's absolutely zero waste. So I'd say it's even better than sometimes breaking down the glass and then turning it into something else, because breaking down that glass actually emits CO2 emissions as well from machinery and breaking that mineral down. So yeah, in a nutshell, it's being able to use a product over and over and over, and that means that there's ultimately no waste.
If I may add on to this one, it will be that there was a challenge obviously on supplying a product that's superior to plastic, which is glass. It's more expensive. But the only way we could enter into the hotels is if we could drop the price of the glass water bottle as close as possible to the plastic one, which a plastic bottle price is quite cheap. So the only way we could do this is by doing it locally first, because we save the logistics of going in and out of the island. And then we could supply over and over with the same container as many times as possible. That's why we bring it to our facilities. We wash it, sterilize it, and fill and cap again, so we can supply again to our customers. And therefore, it's like a refill service price. Right?
We've taken this actually a little bit of a step further. I mean, it's not even our bottles only that we reuse. We actually use old school wooden crates, similar to like the milkman used to do back in the day. So we're reusing our crates. We do have cardboard packaging as for our products, but even that cardboard packaging is reusable itself as well, 2 or 3 times. So we've really thought quite a lot about how our product can be as sustainable as possible. You'll even notice on the bottle itself, all our logos and all our printing is done in ceramic. That we don't have to use labels, we don't have to use stickers. So that the product itself is as sustainable, as reusable as possible. So we really try to go over and above to make sure that it's as close cycle as you can possibly get.
Sustainability is something new in Vietnam, especially in Phú Quốc. I'm just curious, how did you influence people at the time you started Origin?
So in the beginning, price is always a big thing for any establishment, for any business. and it's very difficult to supply glass at the same price as plastic. However, through education, through constant awareness, we can kind of educate people to inform them that this is a product that can be reused. If you reuse this product 3 times, it's probably the same price as the plastic. And not only are you actually maybe saving money, but you're making a difference to the environment as well. But yes, education is a big thing, especially on a small island like Phú Quốc. I think sometimes you feel like your efforts go unnoticed because it's sometimes a slow process, but you need to trust the process. And with the amount of how we're growing and how other businesses are finding out about us, like yourselves, and just expanding our product into different hospitality sectors, it means that we are creating at least some kind of an awareness and people are trying to make a change. And lastly, we obviously educate, or we try to encourage the hotels or our clients to then further educate their staff and make them understand the importance of not throwing these bottles away, how we can return them. And it becomes a whole education thing, not just from our side to the client, but now from the client to their staff as well. So education is key, and that's how we get the word out.
It is, if I may add, I don't know, at the very beginning when I mentioned that I was looking on things that I could do to help the environment, and I was still working for the hotels, I thought waste separation is a problem. It just means anyways, no? So when I had to pass the message to the staff, well, first to the leadership of the hotel, and they agreed with you, okay, start your program of separating it within the hotel the types of waste, so we can find output for those waste materials. As previously was done, and still some people do it like this, is they put all the garbage in the same container, and that garbage goes into the mountains of a landfill, waste landfill that is behind. What's the area? It doesn't matter.
I don't know what the area is called, yeah, but there's mountains. Yes.
But so there is a big problem. I was very impacted by it, and there was no recycling structure, let's say, but because from the source, all the waste was mixed up. Yes. So on these 2 properties that I did that, we eventually bought new containers with the help of amazing people in the hotels that understood, and helped to do this. And we were able to do it. But that told me that education is really, really important, because we can do this in these structures, and it takes a lot of time to actually make people understand why they need to put, I don't know, food garbage, for instance, waste into a container, and cans or glass or other products in another container. And so we can find a way out of those waste products. And I saw that to bring at the scale and make a big impact, it was needed a lot of education, and for me I'm just so small, no? It will be great that government will take part on it, because the structure out there on the streets is not there yet. If you go to throw your garbage, you don't have the choice of choose the right container for the type of waste. So that was an inspiration also to say, well, whatever we choose to do, make sure we can do, because otherwise I may just drown. I'm trying because I'm so small, I just have 2 hands and 1 mouth and 2 ears. It's very difficult to grow in that sense, and also make it somehow economic viable, because remember, we also need to eat, and I have family too. I need to cover my basics needs. That's what I'm saying. So we found that Origin was a good first step, and we wanna help to expand to whatever more locations, and inspire people that if they want to join us, are more than welcome to come, and we can work together and enjoy together while we're very proud of what we do. So
it's a valuable insight for us. And what do you think is the biggest challenge for Origin at that moment?
Well, that's a good question. To be honest, when we started Origin, or at least for myself, I was just looking at a way of trying to make a difference. We weren't 100% sure of how we were going to do this originally in the beginning, to be quite honest. But through a lot of hard work and dedication and just trying, we were able to turn something small into something a little bit bigger. Look, we still knew ourselves, and the company's only been running for a year and a half. But the amount of businesses and people we've been able to influence to make even just the smallest change it's quite a rewarding feeling. Even if you can get a local person who would normally just throw a piece of paper on the floor just to think twice and say, okay, well, let's put it in my pocket and throw it in the garbage bin. I mean, it's these kind of small changes that kind of make a much bigger impact at the end of the day. And yeah, if one person does it and if they can influence someone else and they can eventually influence other people, then that's when we become stronger and we can make more of an impact and a difference.
The more people we join forces together, the more the impact we can make for Vietnam. So we love Vietnam.
It's impressive to see Origin's successful partnership with prominent brands in Phú Quốc like Movenpick, Novotel, Mango Bay. And I have a question for you, Phillip. Do you think that you're gonna extend the influence to other small businesses, such as coffee shop or local hotel restaurants in Phú Quốc?
Look, originally, we thought we could make the biggest impact in hotels, and that's where we do make the biggest impact. However, it's been really nice to know that some smaller establishments are reaching out to us to try and become more sustainable as well. We've also partnered up, and you guys know them as well, some smaller restaurants, Saigonese, Cozy Barbecue, Bagels and Eggs, just to name a few. We have quite a lot of restaurants that have also decided, look, we want to make the change. And although the bulk is not as much in terms of sales, we really appreciate their efforts, even if it is small. So definitely, smaller restaurants, smaller coffee shops. We recently signed a small local Vietnamese hotel called Tan Q. Really nice little quaint beachside resort. But the fact that now Vietnamese locals are approaching us, I mean, makes us proud that the name is getting out of there, and they also want to make a difference, not only the international big corporate companies. So yeah, definitely try and influence others. We've also been involved with different initiatives, like the Phú Quốc Eco Green Team. We sponsor water for their beach cleanups. We actually, me and my whole team have sometimes gone with them to do cleanups alongside with them. Something that's also new that we want to get into is a Feed the Ocean initiative, where we take small fish and crustaceans and we release them out into the ocean, into the reef systems to try and repopulate the reefs over here. So all of these small little things we're trying to get involved with, not just cafes, but initiatives as well to get the word out there.
If there is somebody who has some cool initiative to help the environment, we are happy to join them. You know what I mean? Like the fishing thing that comes from the Saigonese, no? So it means it's fantastic. I applaud to everybody who has the same passion like us, you know. And of course, we understand each other because we focus for the same goal. So yeah.
I'm curious that what are the future goals for Origin, Peter?
No, I think it's pretty fair. Is what we'll also like to do. We cannot do this expansion by ourselves. We like to join with more people that is interested on following or joining initiatives like this. So we have made quite. We have worked very hard to be able to work out a way to build the factories as cheap as possible as well. And
sustainable as possible.
And sustainable as well, because the way we build them is also a special thing that maybe in the next podcast we do together when we are in the next location. Then you can see the factory and we can show you how we did it and all that. No, so it's all in the elaboration process at this point of time. But we have quite set up a good way to expand by joining forces with other people. that are interesting, and we have the means together to help each other.
So yes, of course, it's our goal and dream to grow Origin as a brand and as a company. And look, Phú Quốc is only so big. So we'd love to move over to the mainland. We'd love to start new projects on the mainland, new factories over there. We don't want to distribute from Phú Quốc because of CO2 emissions that go to the mainland. So ideally, we'd like to start smaller factories in many different locations to reduce distribution CO2 emissions, and be able to offer this product to a lot more F&B and hospitality outlets to try and further reduce single-use plastic.
Sure, we're gonna have another episode with both of you. Maybe in one of the most beautiful cities in Vietnam from the mainland.
Yeah, we hope so too. Yeah, we hope so too.
And one more question, that many people believe that sustainability is something that difficult to achieve. And what advice would you give to those who are looking to start sustainable businesses, particularly in hospitality industry?
I met along the time that I was studying what I could do to help. I met with incredible people that was doing other sorts of projects, and some of them were, for instance, trying to collect some plastics and separate the type of plastics and create some other means of use of that. It's like a reuse, which is one of the parts of being eco-friendly, reusing or converting the use of something. I know it's not easy to start a project like this, and usually people looks at it with certain, like, what are you trying to do, because the knowledge is not there yet when you try to sell that product out. So it's a challenge, but it's rewarding because you're helping, and as in any other business that you want to start, I think every business is difficult to start, but if you have a good passion for it and you believe that you can
From
do
your
it,
heart, right?
you will, yeah, from the heart, you will keep on finding the channels and the people that can help you and help you grow your business. So the people who actually clicks with this kind of concept is the people who actually loves the ocean like this, or the jungle, or the animals. It's the good people. Yeah, the good ones, the ones that are conscious that our planet is precious and we need to take care of it. If we don't take care of it, our children, what they're gonna have, right? We shouldn't be so. We should be focusing on the long run of this planet.
Also, I think sometimes there's a misconception about sustainability and that it has to be expensive when you start it up. It can be as simple as collecting cans sometimes, and okay, maybe
It's part of the network.
yeah. Some of the biggest heroes we have in Phú Quốc are the can collectors, and they will actively go and separate all these cans so that they can be used and get some money out of it. Actually, it's their livelihood; they're making a living out of this. So, yeah, there's a bit of a misconception. Look, if you want to go build up big recycling factories, yes, you're going to need some financial investment. Sure, we understand that. But don't be intimidated. Believe in yourself, believe in the process. And if you have passion, that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah, it's truly incredible and insightful to all of us. And thank you so much for joining me today and sharing such an inspiring story about Origin. And I wish Origin continues success and positive impact to the community, especially in Phú Quốc and throughout Vietnam. Thank you and see you next time.
We definitely hope so. Nice to meet you, Hang. Thank you so much.
It's an amazing conversation with Peter and Phillip, co-founder of Origin, the first fully closed cycle glass water bottling company in Phú Quốc, Vietnam. Thank you for listening and I'll see you next time.